The State of the Nation address was largely focused on the state of South Africa's economy, President Cyril Ramaphosa conceding that the economic outlook is extremely weak.
He spoke of the revitalisation of the economy, which includes a pledge to speed up support for Power Utility Eskom, among other measures. But many say this address was lacking in details of how the economy will be resuscitated.
In his address, President Ramaphosa says the new administration will focus on 7 priorities, which include economic transformation and job creation, among others. The president says the private sector has committed to invest 840 billion rands in 43 projects over 19 sectors and creating 155,000 jobs in the next 5 years. The issue of the African Continental Free Trade Area was also touched on, which will improve the movement of goods and services across the continent.
When the president identified the trade area, he was referring really to start here on the African continent. It's a large continent with more than 1 billion people, and we've just concluded a continental free trade agreement that binds together 54 African countries into one block that will be able to trade more easily with each other, and that can create more jobs.
On Eskom, President Cyril Ramaphosa pledged to speed up 230 billion rands of support. In February, the government pledged a 23 billion rands a year bailout over 3 years, but the power utility says it needs more cash to keep lights on after nationwide blackouts this year.
You get to be worried, especially when he starts talking with the likes of Eskom, stuff like that. Yeah. One gets a sense that maybe is it this the time that we're acknowledging things that the finance minister didn't want to acknowledge when he was delivering his budget speech when it comes to Eskom, because basically what's going to happen here is that they will continue to give Eskom money, whether it's that a special appropriation bill or when it comes to the 230 billion that they have to give Eskom for the next coming 10 years. What it's a question of, they said that Eskom, they've got money up until October. One has to ask, is that debt? Does that include loans from China, stuff like that? So maybe it's true, when we made the budget speech, we were playing to the gallery, we're trying to please the rating agencies. We're afraid that maybe we will be downgraded, because basically all the things that were avoided to be said during the budget speech, here we are, we're acknowledging them and they're going to be said. And you ask yourself that he mentioned last year, September, about the economic stimulus plan. How far are we with all those things? You need to understand. And it's encouraging as well that we have seen that almost the 300 billion that the investment initiatives have managed to raise, almost 230 billion thereof has already been committed. That's a good thing. So, but the long and short is, people were expecting real concrete actions, and I don't think we've managed to get some.
Earlier this month, SABC announced that GDP growth weakened by 3.2% in the first quarter of the year. The president says to meet growth targets, foundations of the economy need to be revitalized and productive sectors expanded. This includes implementing master plans in industries like clothing and textiles, renewable, and steel and metals fabrication sectors. The plan also focuses on bolstering the mining industry by developing markets for local minerals. Focus will also be given on small-medium enterprises in cities, townships, and rural areas, and create marketplaces where they can trade their products. Ramaphosa has also called for South Africans to deliberately and consistently buy locally made goods. Diabosito, SABC News.